is really odd. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That is really, really bizarre. Normally, when you set up your Facebook Live, you get a preview of the screen that shows, you in all your glory, and you can do that whole like priming and prepping. And this time it was completely blank, and I just thought, oh, I'll just test it and see if my camera is working. Pressed live, and here we are. Here we are indeed. So I'm not even quite sure if the title has come up. Maybe Facebook was just having a few moments. Hi Louise, lovely to see you here. So we're going to talk about how to get your business mojo back, and it's really about the importance of up-leveling, and it's quite it's a really exciting theme, is this, because often we're working really hard in our businesses and we're doing all the things that we've been told to do. We're being visible, we're taking action, we're making offers. But if your kind of mojo is out of alignment, it's really difficult to make those things actually happen. And sometimes it's just like a little adjustment, a little tweak to a number of key areas where you can up level yourself, and therefore your results up level as well. So brilliant. We've got Louise, we've got Nicola, we've got Carol here. Hi, lovely to see you all here today. So normally if I have that little preview that I was talking about that Facebook didn't give me today, I would have normally turned my camera around to get the best shot. So this is really important, and it's also really it's kind of like an essential thing to tap into when we're running our business. So our businesses, it doesn't matter like how flipping awesome you are, our businesses are a little bit like seasons, and within those seasons are transitional periods. And that could well be like a transitional period that you are experiencing because of things that are happening in your environment, in your world, in your business. And I would love to sit here and say that, once you've nailed it, you'll be on track to always be feeling absolutely amazing about your business, and everything you put out there will be awesome and fabulous. And that's just how it is once you've nailed business success. But the truth is that every time, in our businesses, every time we go out there with an offer or a launch, we are giving ourselves the opportunity to up level our results. And every time you achieve those up-leveled results, you are therefore in this new place. And the best way to describe it is through Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap. So let me know if you've read that book. And this book is really cool. I don't even think it's on this particular bookshelf. It's probably on another one. It's never that far away, but essentially what Gay Hendricks talks about in this book, and it's really, this is a whole book I'm talking about. This is just my summary. But basically, we have got like levels of normality for us. So our levels of normality are different for every single one of us. So if we think about, what is your current normal? So just have a little think right now about what your current normal is. And also look at, the things that are currently normal for you in the things that give you a little bit of stress and heartache as well. Yeah, it's an amazing book, isn't it, Louise? It's not a very big book, so I really suggest that if you haven't read it, or if you've got it on your shelf and you've not read it for a little while, it's a great one to kind of dip into. But basically, Gay talks about the fact that we all operate at this kind of like level, and he's got like different terms for those levels. And what we're trying to do as female entrepreneurs here in Live Your Abundant Life is that we're looking to increase our success, to increase the number of people that we work with, to increase the money that we generate through our businesses. And we're doing that for lots of brilliant reasons. Lots of positive impact will happen when that occurs. But every time that we go out there, we create an offer or maybe even some content, is that every time we go out there to connect with our audience, if we're still operating at our normal level, we are highly likely to get the same results. So lots of people talk about quantum leaping in a business. And in order to quantum leap, we need to understand how to up level ourselves to this higher version of yourself. So from that level, you can go out there and you can attract in the results that you truly desire to have. And again, if you're familiar with The Big Leap, he goes on to talk about what happens when that occurs and so on and so forth. So it's a really great book to read and to have there as a resource kind of tool. So, this is what I'm talking about, is that here we are trying to set ourselves up in the best possible position, in the best possible way to generate amazing results from our business. However, if we keep operating from the same level, we will get the same results. So what I wanted to kind of explore and expand on today is, how do you up level yourself? How do you step into a bigger, brighter, more fabulous version of yourself so that you can actually call in those results? So let me know if this is resonating. Let me know also if this is making sense to you. Because it is quite a juicy topic, isn't it? And up-leveling is kind of, you can make it into a little bit of a game. And in terms of ourselves, it's the best place to start, isn't it? If we're looking at generating bigger and better and more brilliant results from our business, is the best place to start in terms of up-leveling is within ourselves. And that's got so many elements to it. And I just wanted to kind of break them down into a couple of compartments. So for me, when I'm starting to think about the fact that, just before I have a launch, I'll be thinking about like my mindset. I'll be thinking about the actions that I'm planning to take in order to get myself out there. But one of the key things is that for every time I step into a launch, I want to be thinking about up-leveling my frequency. So this is such a, it's cool what we can do as human beings. So here I am, back from looking after the kids, kind of juggling business and childcare for the last kind of 6-7 weeks. Then last week was quite a big week for us because we had our first child go off to secondary school, so everybody's adjusting, everybody's all over the place. And this week feels like the week that I feel grounded, that I feel a lot more centered than I did last week. So the kind of first part for me is to start to think about up-leveling and up-leveling within myself so that I can go out there and serve, you guys as my audience in the best possible, deepest, most kind of brilliant way. And it comes to frequency. So if I was feeling like utter rubbish, and I was like, looked at my to-do list and it was like, oh, it says I'm going to do a live, don't really feel like it, but I came on anyhow. The frequency that you guys would feel is that you would feel that frequency. You would, yes, you'd be hearing words, and yes, that hopefully makes sense, and it'd be resonating, but there'd be something off about my energy. So whenever we want to go out to our audience, whether we're writing content or whether we are going out there with a launch, with an offer, with, juicy, kind of opportunities for people to come into your world, is that you want to be working on up-leveling your frequency. So if you have got some good hacks about how you up-level your frequency, come and share what those are. I'd love to know. And again, everyone is different, So here's a couple of things that I did, is that I recognised that within myself this week, it was utterly exhausting coming back to work last week. It was utterly exhausting holding the space for my eldest child to go to secondary school. And it was utterly exhausting kind of like untangling a scenario that had happened in that school environment without having the full amount of information. And it was really, really stressful. And because my son is getting to be a particular age, we are as a family experience like a difference in moods, and that has an impact on everybody. And I was thinking, as a mum, I have got to support him through this, definitely, but I also need to support myself. I was quite stressed out last week, And it was like, actually, I need to support myself. I need to build in greater self-care just during this period of time whilst everything's changing and adjusting in our family. Hi, Kelly, lovely to see you here. So what I did is I actually went and did a Sunday night restorative yoga. And it felt like a real indulgence. You know, normally Sunday nights for me are like getting everybody ready for the next week and making sure we're all sorted for everything. And basically kind of chilling out on the sofa with my husband. And I was like, no, I'm going to give myself this hour and a half to actually go and, you know, come back in the better frame of mind. So yoga last night was such a key element to understanding that for myself, to be able to hold the container for us as a family, and for me to be able to come into my business and be the best version of myself, I actually have to do some restorative work here. So yeah, yoga, and then today it was like a good night's sleep, and then it was journaling, and it was really taking my time. I absolutely kind of normally come in from the school run, straight in, 9 o'clock, bang, just absolutely fly through things. And I do fortunately have the ability to churn things out really quickly, but I really wanted to come back to my frequency. I really wanted to come back to working on my frequency. So just like Louise has shared, that listening to music, journaling, running, yoga, or actually taking some time out are the things that help Louise to restore and for her to come back to who she is, and for her to have that kind of frequency that she can go out to her audience and feel absolutely flipping awesome. So it comes, the very first kind of step in up leveling your business mojo is obviously working with yourself. So I've just shared some personal things for me about what's happening in my world, and the fact that I thankfully have the ability to acknowledge these things and then know and understand for myself how best I can work through these things. So I've come back to business this week, clarity, passion, and a real excitement about the things that I'm generating, coupled with the understanding that, you know, whatever secondary school and all of that throws at us, that, you know, we'll get through it and it'll all be absolutely fine. So always start with yourself, you know, rather than looking at your to-do list and pushing, getting all those jobs done. It's really start with yourself. You know, even if you have to take a day off to connect with who you are, what you're looking to generate, and just up leveling to that higher level, your frequency, your belief in what you are here to do, who you're here to work with, and how you're here to work with them. So let me know if this is resonating. Just give me some hearts or some thumbs up, or let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you. And maybe this is the bit that you keep missing out on. And if it is, I really want to encourage you to, you know, just, you know, I can't tell you what you need to do in order to become energized and to up level. You know, that's very, very individual. It's about becoming playful, isn't it? It's about thinking, well, actually, I do feel pretty wiped out from the weekend. Perhaps you had a really full-on weekend. You've not had that time and space to be reflective or to restore your energy levels. So actually, what can you do this week to kind of put that in? So so Kelly says, yeah, she's changing things up, went to the gym today. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, we think, and this is obviously another blog post for me to write about, but we honestly think that we get the best actions when we are super glued to our chairs and we're just bashing through our actions. Honestly, that can be a whole waste of time if you're not actually looking after yourself, if you haven't got your frequency right. So think about your frequency, you know, think about the frequency that you have when you come into your business, when people are connecting with you. And, you know, here we are at the beginning of September. It's such a great time for so many of us, all of us in our businesses, to really make some great leaps forward. So you start with yourself. And this can often feel like the hardest thing. You know, we're women, we're busy, we've got lots of different roles, and it can often feel like the hardest thing in the world to actually do is to work on yourself. But it's also the biggest gift that you can give to yourself as well. So coupled with belief is also your environment. Now, I'm not quite sure if you were expecting me to say that, but if you have to, like my office is upstairs in my house, but if I had to wade upstairs through all the debris of a family life that had been left on the stairs, unconsciously, by the time I got into my office, I'd be weighed down with knowing that outside of this office was a whole load of things that needed my attention. So again, it comes back to frequency, doesn't it? But your environment is a really, really important place. So if you're currently trying to work in an environment that actually is subconsciously sucking the life out of you, again, I really want to encourage you to pause in your action doing and actually sort it out, because all of these things are drains. So let me know if this is making sense, if you can kind of find areas in your environment that could actually be a drain on your frequency. And it could be something as simple as having a big pile of paperwork. You know, maybe you're like me, you've got children who've returned back to school and comes with a load of administration. So maybe they've just piled up over the weekend. Or you've got a big pile of things that need sorting out or putting away because it's like the end of the summer and moving into the colder months. Maybe you've got a pile of stuff that do it. Your environment is so important. So you've got like a little... so Kelly says every single room, honestly. And I think with Kelly, she has to walk through her house to get into her office. Honestly, I can't, even if it's something that you can't get to this week, I really want to encourage you to actually take some time, maybe on the weekend, to just clear the paths. Now, I did this with a client who was struggling for a number of things. And we got talking about her environment and the space in which she's in, and her husband, very talented man, and he was putting down herringbone flooring in every single ground floor room, and it was like a project because it was full-time, works full-time as well, so it's a bit of a project, and there was basically piles of this wood laid everywhere. And for this particular client, what was happening for her is that every day that she opened from the front door of a house to step into her house, in the hall, that was like a place where there was a whole heap of wood that was being stored ready to be laid. Now, she had no problem with the wood being there because she totally understood that she was going to get the most beautiful floor because of the wood. But what it was doing for was zapping her energy every single time she stepped into the house, which then carries on. So I hope I've made my argument for your environment being almost as important as your mindset as well. And your environment is a number of things, isn't it? It can be things like your car. So if your car is like a wheelie bin on legs, and every time you get in it, it's like, oh my God, it's such a disgrace. Sort it out. If your office, my office is, it can become a bit of a dumping ground because it's like the one room that people don't sleep in upstairs. So if your office is untidy or needs sorting out, or you've got a load of filing that's just piling up, sort it out. If you've got a pile of things that are just scattered all over your house, just take the time to do it. So that's kind of like your physical environment. But what about other things as well about your environment? About, let's think about like Facebook groups. Where the friggin' hell are you hanging out online? Is that a good place for you, or is it a really, really toxic place for you? Yeah, so Louise says that this is resonating for her because she sits in the kitchen diner and she has to have a kind of clear work surfaces before she can get to work. Absolutely. Even putting your back to it doesn't work. Kelly says, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so this is totally resonating with Kelly as well. So that's one thing, like your physical environment. But I want you to think also about where are you hanging out? So that can be both in a person-to-person sense, but also in a kind of virtual sense as well. So are you in the right Facebook groups? Are you getting the support that you need in those environments? Or are there conversations that are happening that really frigging trigger you? Triggering can be good, but like triggering you in a bad way, or other people that you just end up shouting at social media because of the things that they say or they do, or the way that they're behaving. You really need to kind of almost protect your environment in lots of different ways, and that's like who you're hanging out with, how you're hanging out with them. It is also things like, what's happening on your desktop. Is it really easy for you to go to all the files that you need to? Can you just come to your desktop or your laptop and actually get on with your work? Or is there a lot of things that need clearing off it? Or is it really slow? It's like, here we are at the beginning of a brand new season. We're transitioning from the glorious summer that we've had here in the UK to the colder months. This is a perfect time to up level not just your mindset, your frequency, but also to up level your environment, so you're in the best possible frame of mind and environment to call in the results that you want. And then, obviously, we're running business. I'm not here to tell you how to tidy your house should be, but the purpose of this is all about giving you the best possible chance of identifying those up-leveling actions that you can take forward in your business that will see you achieve those up-leveling results. And that's what we're talking about right at the beginning of this live, was about. Here we are looking to generate epic results. And unless you are brand new to business, unless you've never done anything towards moving your business forward, it is highly likely that you are sat there doing the same things, thinking the same things, and doing the same things every day. And how we up level, how we take those quantum leaps, how do we go from where we are to where we want to be, is by working on ourselves in the first place and ensuring and maintaining and kind of protecting our environment and the people that we see and the people that we do. And I will put my hands up and I will say that I still do the school run for my youngest child, and there are people who are absolutely lovely, but they will absolutely suck the life out of me like those Dementors in Harry Potter. And I absolutely know that if I go into the playground, I will not stand with those people. Not because I don't like them, it's just that I don't want to be part of their moans and groans about whatever it is that they're moaning and groaning about. Because again, that for me, it totally busts up my vibes. And because I'm such a nurturer, is that even if it's something that doesn't trigger me, doesn't bother me, isn't a problem for me, I will really deeply feel it for that person. And it might feel counterintuitive to do that, where you're keeping yourself away from people who you like, but they're kind of like draining your vibe. But it totally works for me. It means that when I pick my daughter up at 3:30, it means that I can carry on having the rest of my day in the best possible vibe that I can. I'm not actually holding on to that from somebody else. Okay, so Carol said, oh, yes, I've left a couple of groups. Yes, Whinge Fest. Absolutely. I mean, if they're good hosts, people will see Whinge Fest and they will deal with it. But occasionally that doesn't happen. Oh, Kelly says, you're so in my head. Toxic is my buzzword. Decluttered, working myself, stopping drinking alcohol, detoxing, remove things from things that don't serve me. Yeah, it does. We can be, like I said, we can be really busy with all the actions, but actually it's a complete waste of time if you're not feeling it, if you're just going through the emotions and there's all of these other things that are on your mind. Deal with them. Even if you have to take a day off your business, deal with them. You will come back and have much better results. And this is what people talk about being in flow and about being in alignment, is that you can come in and you just kind of with great passion and excitement that you can come into your business, you can deal with things that you need to deal with, you can talk about the offers that you've got, and you can create content that just really lights up people's worlds and really resonates to them, and it makes such a difference and you will get results like that. So who wants some results where you just putting stuff out there and people come and buy? And to give you a prime example are my live events. So on Thursday the 4th of October, we're meeting again in York. And this is like a one-day business retreat for women who are ready to do this up-leveling work, that you are ready to look at specific things about your self-belief, about your confidence, about your ability to call in the things that you want to. And then we're going to transition that into looking at up-leveling your visibility, like really ensuring that your visibility is absolutely nailed so that your audience can see, hear and feel you and connect with you really quickly, that therefore then translates to them coming and working with you. And then we've got the lovely Helen Barlow, who's this most amazing photographer who's going to come in and help you up level your visibility. And as part of the price of your ticket, which is very accessible, Helen will actually, you'll be walking away with a brand new profile picture, so no more like dodgy selfies. So Helen will be working with you, making you comfortable with having the most authentic, amazing profile picture that you can then use on social media and in your publicity and just everywhere. And then we will be looking at kind of up-leveling your actions. So what do you need to do in order to really achieve the results that you're looking for? So, you know, this is something that I'm deeply passionate about. This is work that women need to do all the freaking time, and that's why we're talking about it on the 4th of October. And that event, when we come back to talking about things that sell really easily, I only ever have like 18 seats in the room, and already 6 totally guaranteed. I know that another lady is going to book, so I actually have 11 tickets left, and I only started promoting this last week. And that's what I'm talking about being in flow, about being in alignment, about having the frequency right, and being able to connect with your audience when all of those things are in place. And like I said at the beginning, all of those things, they're not always in place. You know, we're always having to do this self-work on ourselves. But when you're in alignment, you know, live events are probably one of the hardest things you can sell, because people always have loads of excuses and reasons like, oh, well, you know, I can't travel to York. Well, you can. We have the lovely Penny who travelled all the way from Weston-super-Mare in April to come to our event. Oh, I can't get any childcare. Well, do you know what? I have 2 children. I have to figure the childcare out, and I'm really rubbish at telling my husband that he needs to be at home on those days, and he never is. We've even had my children come to the event after school because, you know, I haven't got that sorted out. But yeah, well, Carol, Helen is such a talented natural photographer, and the event costs £149, and that includes your profile picture. Now, if you've ever had any professional photos taken, you will know that they normally cost hundreds, and Helen will also obviously be making it available for you to buy more of those as well, so if you love them. So the £149 includes, like, me working with you on your business, your profile picture, your lunch, your connection with these awesome women. And, you know, it's about saying, come on, we're serious about business. We know that we can't build business on our own. We don't want to build a business on our own, but we do want to be in an environment full of women who are on a similar journey to ourselves, and, you know, all sorts of different levels. And, you know, you appreciate the opportunity for me to actually have your eyes and your ears. So not only will you be walking away with that beautiful picture and the opportunity to have more, is that you will also have me working with you on your visibility plan as well, so that actually, you know, you're starting to do the work on yourself. You'll carry that work on as normal after the event, and then you will have your visibility plan working from that frequency, working from that kind of like decluttered version of yourself, so you can go out there and achieve all of the things that you're looking to achieve. So that event is getting quickly booked up. There is a special bonus. When you buy the full price ticket before Friday, you will be gifted a 60-minute private coaching session with me, and you can have that either before or after the event. It just needs to be taken by kind of the end of October. So this is, you know, such a brilliant opportunity for you to come and, you know, really work on your business. And, you know, there are retreats from your life, from your business, where you get to come and work on your business with awesome women like Kelly, like Annabelle, like Alison, like Kirsten, like Jenny, who've already booked their seats. So I'm not just saying that, I can actually put names on the seats. So if you want more details, that I will, in fact, I might even have the link copied. Let's have a look. Where do I put my comments? So let me know if you've got any more questions about what we've been talking about. Any ideas about some of the things that you would like to up level? You know, where do you think you could up level? I don't seem to have the ability. There is something wrong with this live because I don't have the ability to comment live, but I will do. And you can just PM me and let me know that you want a seat anyhow. So up-leveling, in conclusion, in order for you to get better results in your business, what we're looking at, what we're talking about is you up-leveling yourself. So that is at the heart of everything yourself, your self-belief, your confidence, your environment, who you hang out, where you hang out, who you're connected with, and this is how you get epic results in your business. Right, any questions? I'm here. I'm very happy to take them. Otherwise, I'm going to go and get some lunch because it's that time of the day already. These days go flying by, don't they, when you've only got 5 hours to work in. So any more questions, anything else that you want to share? It's been lovely to have you all here today. Okay, that's probably it then. Have a really fabulous Monday. I'm sorting out the themes in the group at the moment, so once they've settled in my head and I know what we're doing with the content, I will let you know. In the meantime, please use this environment as your space to come and be connected with awesome women. There's not just me here that can help and support you. There's a load of other women with a ton of experience and advice as well. So come and use this space and make sure that you are supported in your business. Okay? Have a really great Monday. Bye for now.